Alexis Dossie, and today I will be giving my how-to speech over how to perm your hair. By the end of my speech, I want my audience to be able to understand how a perm works and how it is performed. Have you ever been tired of your hair looking the same every day? Maybe your hair is straight and you want it to be curly, or maybe your hair is super curly and you would like for it to have a looser curl or even be completely straight. Well, then I have a solution for you. By listening to my speech, you can all learn a little bit more about perms, and it might even interest you into getting one yourself. My main source is my mother, who is a hairstylist and a cosmetology instructor, and my credibility is, well, let's just say I've had a few perms in my day. With perms making a bold comeback in the beauty industry, a little basic knowledge is important to have before you take the step to getting one. Today, I will be discussing with you how a perm works and how it is performed. First, let's talk about the basic understanding of the hair and how a perm works. The hair is made up of 3 different layers and 3 different bonds. Knowing the layers in the hair is not important to the perming process, but having an understanding of the 3 different bonds is important. The 3 bonds are hydrogen bonds, salt bonds, and disulfide bonds. Hydrogen bonds are broken by water or heat. For example, when we straighten someone's hair who is naturally curly, we break the hydrogen bonds. Once the hair is re-wet, the hydrogen bonds reform and the hair turns back curly. These bonds are not important when it comes to perming. Salt bonds are semi-important to the perming process because they account for 1/3 of our hair strength, and they are broken by the changes in the pH of our hair. For example, when you should not perm someone's hair that is very damaged, because this means that the pH levels are very high and the hair could not handle the chemicals in a perm solution. Disulfide bonds are chemical bonds, and they are the strongest bonds in the hair. In order to permanently change the structure of someone's hair, you must chemically alter these bonds. A perm uses chemicals in order to change the hair texture, which can create waves and curls. The size of the perm rod that you choose will determine the size of the curl. The current texture and the hair type will determine which perm you use. No matter which you choose, the process and the way it works and in the way it is applied is always the same. The main ingredient found in the permanent waves processing solution is ammonium thioglycolate, and the most common ingredient in the neutralizer is hydrogen peroxide. The processing solution swells the hair and breaks all the disulfide bonds and forces the hair to take the shape of the perm rod. The neutralizer neutralizes the swelling and forces new disulfide bonds to be made, which in turn permanently sets the hair into its newly curled form. Now that we've talked about the basic understandings of the hair and how a perm works, now we're going to talk about different perm methods. The second step is to choose which perm method to use. There are several methods to choose from when perming someone's hair. The method you choose is dependent on what type of curl that you want. The 2 most common methods are the crokinole and the spiral methods. Some people choose to perm their hair to add volume and not necessarily curl, and some people have short hair and want to add a kinky curl. In both of these cases, you would use the crokinole wrapping method. The crokinole method is where the hair is wound from the ends of the hair to the scalp. If you want your hair to fall in ringlets, then you should use the spiral wrapping method. In order to achieve this, it is best to have long hair. The spiral wrapping method is similar to the crokinole method, still wrapping the hair from the ends to the scalp, except it is rolled sideways and on long tube-shaped perm rods. The hair industry is forever changing, and new techniques are often brought to light. One of the newest trends is French braiding your hair. As an alternative to wrapping on perm rods, this method is used in order to achieve the look of beach waves. Now that we've discussed the basic understanding and different perm methods, let's discuss rolling the perm. No matter which method you choose for the perm, how you roll the perm is very important. This is the step that you must pay the most attention to. How the step is performed will be the determining factor on whether the hair looks the way you want it to or whether the hair falls and breaks off. Neatness in sectioning, rolling, and band placement is the sole factor that, when done right, will be responsible for helping you maintain the integrity of the hair while it is being chemically altered. After you have neatly rolled the entire head, apply the perm solution to each individual rod, making sure to saturate each rod individually. You then place a plastic cap over the entire head and allow it to process according to the manufacturer's directions. Usually this lasts from 10 to 20 minutes, and after processing, rinse the hair for about 5 minutes, and then leaving the rods in, towel dry the hair and apply the neutralizer to each rod and allow it to sit for 5 minutes. After the neutralizer processes, you may remove all of the rods and rinse for another 5 minutes. The hair is now permanently curly, and in order to keep the beautiful curls, it is best to advise against shampooing for at least 48 hours. In conclusion, you have learned basic facts of the hair and steps that go into perming the hair. Getting a perm is more than just getting your hair curled, and I hope that after watching my speech, you will have a better understanding of how in-depth the process actually is, and that the basic knowledge I have taught you will encourage you to see a properly trained professional with all of your perm needs. Thank you for your time.